Hello everybody and welcome back to DC Central, and in today's video we'll be talking about and discussing all of the upcoming DC films on the slate that have now been delayed due to the global pandemic, so let's discuss. So yes, before we dive into today's topic, I just want to talk about how, obviously this is a little bit of a different video than usual. Obviously if you saw my channel update video from a few weeks ago, you'll know that I was discussing and talking about how I wanted to expand out the content on this channel a little bit. Of course, the Arrowverse and the CW shows are still the main focus on this channel, they always will be, but I did want to expand out a little bit and start talking about some other nerdy, geeky stuff that I think you guys would like. So with this news coming out over the last day or so about the films within the DC film universe being delayed and things like that, I thought I'd make a little video just to talk about them and just sort of discuss my feelings on them. So first of all, The Batman from Matt Reeves has been officially delayed till October the 1st of 2021. This film was originally slated for June of 2021, it's now been pushed back till October. This film seems to be very interesting. Of course, it is directed by Matt Reeves, who directed Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes, and this movie is also starring Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne / Batman. Of course, you'll know Robert Pattinson from the Twilight films, or more recently from some fantastic films like Good Time and The Lighthouse. Robert Pattinson is a truly tremendous actor. I'm very excited to see him step into the role of Batman. Now this movie I think is going to be very interesting. I'm loving the casting so far, like especially Paul Dano, who I know from movies like Prisoners, playing the Riddler, I think is awesome. Zoe Kravitz playing Catwoman. There's just some really cool casting going on in this movie right now. So to see it being delayed, it is sad, of course. I mean, I wanted to see this movie really badly. Out of like all the DC films we've got coming out over the next few years, the Batman is easily the higher up on the list in regards to my level of anticipation. But I think the Batman, like, being pushed back till October, it actually makes a lot of sense. Like, I think October actually is a better release date for the Batman than it was being in the summer. Like, obviously, I know the summer movie season is obviously huge, and Batman has exceeded there before. Like, Dark Knight Rises, I believe, was a July release. But I think October, thematically, fits the character of Batman better. Of course, October is Halloween month, and also, I know Matt Reeves has spoken about how the Batman and one of its major inspirations from the comics is actually the Long Halloween. So again, thematically, that makes sense. And also, I think Warner Brothers is very clever putting this in October, of course, because in last year we did see them release Joker in October, and that film, of course, made $1 billion. That movie was R-rated, and there is a potential, I believe, Matt Reeves may have even said something on this, but there is a potential that the Batman will be R-rated as well. So, you know, I think that the release date of October, it fits this release of this movie much better in my opinion, and I think that the October release date will benefit it financially, and I think it's going to be really cool to see it actually go up against something like Uncharted, which is also coming out this at that point. So I'm very excited for this movie overall. I think a lot of people are, and I think that the October release date definitely does this movie some good numbers. Now, Shazam 2 has also been delayed till November the 4th of 2022. This is a bit of a sad one as well for me. I loved the first Shazam. I thought that movie was great. Just so much fun. I loved Zachary Levi in the role, so much so I met him at Wales Comic Con. I thought he was so nice. I just loved the nature of that movie, how fun and light and, you know, just passionate it was. I loved the ending, like just everything about it. So given the fact that we pretty much immediately got a confirmation of a Shazam 2, I was very excited. So to see this film get delayed, it is a shame. It's not been delayed massively. It got delayed from, I believe, April of 2022 till November. So it could be interesting. I mean, April of 2022 made a lot of sense. The first Shazam launched in April, so it's now taking a November slot. But I feel like a November slot could work for Shazam, because again, it's not a huge character, and Shazam wasn't that financially successful. It did fine, it did okay, but it didn't do amazingly or anything like that. So I think to put it in a November slot, just to see how it fares sort of in the winter months, could be really cool. I think Shazam being like quite a warm and fuzzy and really nice movie, it makes a lot of sense for that. And also, this is just after Halloween as well, and the first Shazam movie was quite dark. Like, as fun as and light as it was, it also has some really dark elements, so to kind of bring that in as well, I'm sure with David F. Sandberg returning to direct, he's going to keep those elements in the film, which I think is a good thing, because again, Shazam is quite a dark character in the comics at times, particularly with the villains and things like that, so I think they could really bring that in, and David F. Sandberg can continue to do that. So putting it again in kind of the Halloween almost release date slot could make a lot of sense for Shazam 2. I wonder how this is going to affect other things in the DCEU. Of course, we do know we are getting the Black Adam movie with The Rock. We'll have to wait and see how that does and how that changes. I believe that movie was slated for 2022 anyway. Oh no, no, we're getting Black Adam in December 22nd of 2021. So there we go. We're actually getting Black Adam before that, and that movie has remained unchanged. So that's fine. So yeah, Shazam 2 coming out November 4th, 2022. Sad to see it get delayed, of course, but it could be interesting to see how it does in this new release date. And the final film that has changed release dates, but in this case has actually moved up their release date, is The Flash. Now, The Flash is really interesting to me. Of course, this movie we should have got 2 years ago. This movie was meant to come out in 2018. And what's interesting about this as well is that this basically does confirm that Ezra Miller is still playing The Flash. Obviously, that was kind of up in the air after recent developments with Ezra Miller. Of course, I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about there. But The Flash, it's going up now till June 2nd of 2022. It was originally slated for July the 8th, I believe, of 2022, and they've moved it up. So this one hasn't been delayed, it's been moved up. This is interesting. I think it's very obvious the reason as to why they've moved it up, and that's because recently Marvel and Disney have announced the release date of Captain Marvel 2, which was slated for July, I believe the 18th of 2022, or somewhere around there. Essentially, it was a week after The Flash. And I think DC and Warner Brothers perhaps got a bit scared with that, and they've moved the release date forward a month just so they can get that head start on Captain Marvel 2 with The Flash. And of course, they have also basically here now confirmed that Ezra Miller will still be playing The Flash. Andy Muschietti is directing, which I think is very cool. Andy Muschietti directed It Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Both of those movies I really like. I think that DC and Warner Brothers are having a lot of success with horror directors for their DC films. Obviously, James Wan directed Aquaman, David F. Sandberg directed Shazam, will be directing Shazam 2. So getting Andy Muschietti to direct The Flash, I think, again, it could be really cool. I'm very excited to see The Flash. Like, out of the DC slate, I'm very, very excited for The Flash film, just because, obviously, as you guys, of course, know, I'm a huge fan of The Flash, and I really want to see how they do a live-action Flash movie. Of course, we did see The Flash in Justice League, and I'm kind of iffy on that movie and his portrayal in that film. I don't particularly like what Joss Whedon did with that in comparison to how Zack Snyder handled it. I'm not exactly a release the Snyder Cut shill or anything like that, but I do think that Zack Snyder handled that movie and that character much better than Joss Whedon did. So I think that, you know, giving this character to a completely new director like Andy Muschietti, I'm very excited to see how he portrays it and how he handles it. And moving it to a June date, I think is a really good release date for The Flash. Like, The Flash is a really fun character. I think making him a summer character makes a lot of sense. And I think that him going up against, you know, the other big summer movie releases, it could be dodgy because The Flash, again, he has name recognition, but not up to the level of someone like Batman or anything like that. So I don't know how he's going to handle it exactly, but I'm still very, very excited for this. I think The Flash could be really cool. I can't wait to see what storyline they do. Obviously, rumor has it they are doing Flashpoint. We'll have to wait and see how that happens. I'm personally not a huge fan of that idea. I don't particularly like the idea of them doing Flashpoint just because I think it's too early. I don't think you should do Flashpoint in the first film. I don't think that makes any sense. That's not confirmed or anything, but we'll have to wait and see. But overall, I'm very excited about The Flash, and I think a June release date could work really well. So what I'd finally like to do in this video is just talk about the entire slate as a whole. We now have an official release date slate for all of the upcoming DC films. So I'll just run through them one by one. Here we have Wonder Woman 1984, which is coming out August 14th of 2020, of course. That film was delayed from June till August. I mean, I don't think that's going to stick, to be honest. I think that will probably get delayed again, just because I don't think the cinemas will particularly be open by then. Then next up we have The Suicide Squad, which is coming out August 6th of 2021. James Gunn, who, of course, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, is directing this. And James Gunn has actually said that this film is completely on track to be released. It hasn't been affected whatsoever because they've actually finished filming, and James Gunn is literally editing it himself at home while he's quarantining. So that's really good news. The Suicide Squad is going to be on track. And I'm personally very excited about The Suicide Squad. I think that the first Suicide Squad movie, well, it wasn't particularly great. I did enjoy it quite a fair bit, so I'm very excited to see a sequel. And also, James Gunn directing it should be really good. And I really like the look of the cast and the characters and things like that. Looks great. The Batman, as we discussed, October the 1st, 2021. Black Adam is releasing December 22nd of 2021. That is, of course, the Shazam villain with The Rock. I'm very interested to see what this movie actually is. Like, The Rock playing Black Adam is weird casting, in my opinion. But could be cool, could be interesting. Again, I'm very open to it. The Flash, as we discussed as well, June 3rd, 2022. Shazam 2, November 4th, 2022. And then Aquaman 2 is coming out December 16th of 2022. And that movie has remained unchanged. So Aquaman 2, we're still getting that sequel in December 16th. So, I mean, Aquaman, I'm very back and forth with Aquaman. I need to rewatch it, to be honest, to really you know, really round my feelings on it. I've seen it twice, and the first time I really didn't like it. The second time I was a lot better on it. So I need to actually just watch it again just to kind of see how I truly feel about it. But Aquaman 2, there's definitely potential, and I'm excited for it. So yeah, sure, let's go for it. But what do you guys think about all the Warner Brothers changing release dates? Make sure you let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Which of these films are you most looking forward to and why? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. And as always, guys, if you want to see more DC content like this, you know, as I said at the beginning, this is something a bit different. So if you want to see more content like this, where I talk about DC films and just other nerdy, geeky stuff in general, make sure you leave a comment in the description, or a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know, or just leave a like on the video. Always shows your support that way as well. Always great to see. And as always, guys, I hope to see you next time in my next video.